Welcome to another 7 Minutes with Matt. As always, thank you for spending the next 7 minutes of your life with me, and hopefully this affects the next 7 weeks of your life. We always try to add value, and I think that we do. Today I want to talk to you about what were you thinking? When I was in college, I was a senior at the University of Washington. I was a football player, and like most colleges, you can't park on campus or else you will get a citation. So there's permit parking everywhere you go. And the permit parking that we got was like a quarter mile off campus. And you had to walk, and University of Washington is choppy and it's hilly. And I was always in football workouts and that. And I was like tired during the day, and I wasn't the best student. I didn't love going to class. So what I did, I thought it was a good idea at the time. I would park right by my class in like the dean's spot or a teacher's spot or the maintenance person's spot. And probably like 7 times out of 10, I would get a citation for like $50. This was back in 2000. So I'm sure the violations are way higher now, but I would get like these violations and I just would never address them. Kind of like every college kid, you just, if I put it off to the side, my problem will probably just go away if I don't deal with it. And when you do this for 2 years, those things usually add up. And after 2 years, I'll never forget my dad, who is the kindest man on the planet, just the best dad in the world. Him and my mom called me, and my mom was screaming, "We have over $5,000 of parking tickets here." And my dad was an insulator. Like, the guy never made more than, $50,000 a year. And, we always had a good life, but like dad was a hard blue collar worker. We were not rich by any stretch of the imagination. And my mom was like, "How could you do this to your father? What were you thinking?" And the truth is, of course I wasn't thinking, but I thought that I wouldn't get caught. I thought that it wasn't a big deal. And how stupid and naive really was I, that even when I did get caught and get the ticket, I still thought in my mind I wasn't going to get caught. So what happened to me is, originally I didn't want to walk all throughout the campus, but what my parents did my senior year, after we won the Rose Bowl, I'm at the highlight of my life, getting ready to train for the NFL and everything. And they showed up at my doorstep from California to Seattle. And my mom said, and I opened the door, and they did not tell me they were coming. This was before cell phones, and like email just got on track. And my mom showed up at my door, and she goes, "Give me the keys." And they took my truck away. And I spent the remainder of my senior year walking everywhere, not just to class and getting in a classroom. I walked to work. I begged people for rides. I had to walk and beg people for rides everywhere. So the shortcuts that I was taking, what I thought was a good idea at the time, ended up costing me 1,000 times more than I had bargained for. And I ended up having to work myself off that $5,000 working at security at the swing shift to just get my degree, because they were campus tickets and you couldn't get your degree until you paid off $5,000 of tickets. And my parents didn't give me a dime. The point of the story is, what were you thinking? And this takes me back to our mindset and what God says about what we think in 2 Corinthians 10, verses 3 through 5. "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds." And I kind of said, well, what's a stronghold? A stronghold is first established in the mind. And that is why we take every thought captive, because behind every stronghold is a lie. That stronghold in my life, and this could be kind of cookie cutter for this deep message, but the stronghold in my mind at that time was that, hey, this is a shortcut that I can get to my classes faster, and I can shortcut the walk, and I don't have to walk around. But it was a lie, because like sin does, you end up staying longer than you intend and ends up costing you way more than you can spend. And that's what happened to me. And I think about the strongholds in people's minds is how it talks about take every thought captive, pull down strongholds. Some people have strongholds in their mind that they are depressed, or they are sick, or they are broke. I'm never gonna not be an alcoholic because my dad was an alcoholic and my grandfather and great grandfather, we were all alcoholic. That is a stronghold in their mind. And if you are a believer in Christ, it says to pull down strongholds. How do you do that? For being mighty in God, casting down arguments on every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Is addiction against the knowledge of God? Yes or no? If it's yes, then why are you owning addiction as, well, this is what I have. This is who I am. Is depression against the knowledge of God? Yes. So why are you taking it for your own? Well, God is giving me this. God is allowing this. That is a stronghold that you need to pull down because it is against the knowledge of God. Bringing every thought into captive to the obedience of Christ and being ready to punish all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. That doesn't just mean you're being punished. That means you punish the disobedience of the stronghold in your mind. That's good. You can be the punisher of the stronghold in your mind. Most people read that as, well, if I do all these bad things, God's going to punish me. How about you punish the stronghold in your mind that God gave you the knowledge to destroy? Man, that's good. That should free so many people up from the stronghold thoughts that they're keeping in their mind. What were you thinking? Put off the old, put on the new, take on the knowledge of Christ. Christ lives inside of you. You don't have to be what your parents were, your grandparents were. You can break the generational curse. You can walk in newness of life. Behold, all things become new. If you are a new creation in Christ. Do these things enter our mind? Yes. Is depression, addiction, name it, is it real? Yes. But you have power and authority over it to pull down the stronghold and punish that thing in your life and no longer tolerate it. What were you thinking? Get the bad out, get the God in. I love you. Thank you so much. This has been another 7 Minutes with Matt.